Okay, so thanks to just the always great Amy Young at Lionsgate, people just checked out Scrambled. Yo, okay, this was man, I really enjoyed the fuck out of this film, right? It is by oh my god, my mind just went blank. I just had a brain freeze. People, it's by Lee McKendrick, right? She wrote and directed. You know what I mean? Woo, boy, I'm getting old. It's produced by Gillian Bura, Brett Haley, Jonathan Levine, and Amanda Mortlock. It's executive produced by Luke Taylor, Mariah Owen, Matthew Helderman, Grady Craig, co-produced by Jordan Bacchus and Macaulay Cahill. I feel is Macaulay Mcauley. I'm not sure. Apologies. Brittany Allen took care of the music. Julia Swain handled cinematography. Sandra Torres Granowski was behind the editing, right? Lisa Zagora was behind the casting, tremendous job. Charlie Textor, production design. Carly Mackenzie Watland was art direction. Costume design, we had Kerry Hennessy. Hair and makeup, right? It's Ashley Stansbury, Angela Santori, Karina X Moreno, Lydia Morales, Mary Lou Hernandez, Laura Bedwell Young, Ali Bayless, and Alexandra Bayless. The tremendous cast, right? So, as well as writing and directing, Lee McKendrick also stars as Nellie. Right? Her dad, Richard, is played by Clancy Brown. Her mother, Sonia, is played by Laura Saron. Her brother, right, Jess, is played by Andrew Santino. Right, her best friend, Sheila, is played by Ego Nodim. Right, Sheila's husband, Ron, is played by Max Adler. We also, her neighbor is Parveen, played by V. Kumari. There are the exes, right? So we got Preston, the prom king, played by Sterling Suleiman. There is Sterling, Peter Pan, played by Adam Rodriguez. There's Kyle, the nice guy, played by Brett Dyer. Jim, the Burning Man, played by Noah Silver. Owen, the cult leader, played by Blake Cooper Griffin. There's Jeff, Nope, played by Rishi Kuta. The bartender with the app idea, played by Matt Pascua. Sean, the one that got away, played by Harry Shum Jr. Jen, played by Camille Manor. Hillary, played by Hillary Kerwin. Ryan, played by Michael Welsh. Nora, played by Cassie Thornton. Zandra, played by Kimmy Kennedy. Nurse Ali, played by Jocelyn Ayana. Ember, played by Lindsay Morgan. The doctor, her fertility doctor, is played by Fedor Chin. Sarah is played by Yvonne Strahowski. Who else do we have? Connor, played by Henry Zebrowski. Brittany, played by Brittany Knoll. Mimi, played by Mariah Owen. Michelle, played by Emily Chang. Uncle Petey, played by Mark Holt. Matilda, played by Ursula Tarian. That's probably the majority. The boutique owner was played by Angela Sprinkle. Right. So yeah, what's Scrambled about? Well, quintessential eternal bridesmaid Nellie Robinson constantly finds herself between weddings, baby showers, and bad dates when she begins to feel like the clock is ticking and is faced with bleak romantic prospects. Nellie decides to freeze her eggs, setting her on an empowering journey to a brave new world where she ultimately discovers the one she's looking for might be herself, right? This this film was just truly great. It was, oh man, I really, really enjoyed it, right? As a lot of times, things like this, right? You're told, oh, this comedy and it's funny and and you watch it and it's just like, uh, I mean, eh, not really. But this really was. Now, it might be partly, though, not necessarily, because it's in part based on McKendrick's experience of, you know, harvesting her own eggs in 2021. But there's plenty of things that are based on real life shit that just still don't work, right? Still don't work. But this one, it was great. It was great, right? Because now you might think this is weird, right? But it reminded me of Blade. Reminded me of Blade. Now I say that because Blade was this kind of, horror. It's vampires, right? Vampires, daywalkers, monsters of the night. So it had to be edgy. Had to be edgy. Had to have like an element of like darkness and fear in it. But when watching it, I laughed a good few times, just properly laughed, you know? But it still had kick-ass action. It invented bullet time, right? Blade did it before the Matrix, people. Now, and I say this reminded me of that because although Scrambled is legit funny, right? Legit funny. It has also these incredible relationships that are just nailed, right? The dynamics of her and her best friend, Sheila, her parents, her brother, right? Her friends, just the past exes, all of these amusing, yes, funny, yes, but there is that honesty in the writing too, right? Where you can look at these scenarios and you go, oh shit, that reminds me of, you know what I mean? Or I've been in that situation. I've had that conversation. Now, obviously, I've not had a conversation about harvesting my own eggs. You know what I mean? Because that'd be odd. Or a first, right? Might be a first. But no, there's other, I mean, just situations that you have with people where you have these heartfelt conversations, right? But someone's not taking it serious, right? Or someone's being demeaning and all of that shit, you know? Or you're having a conversation, but it's still you end up laughing, even though you're talking about some dark ass shit, right? So she nails that. She nails the dynamics, right? And there's also these just heartwarming emotional moments. Man, there's a family conversation in it that, oh boy, man, a crazy conversation, and you feel for poor old Nelly, right? It's just like, oh boy, that's like the conversation she has with Jesse towards the beginning again was just great, right? With Pavine, man, the moments with Sheila, there's just these just fantastic moments, right, in the group, and they just hit you. They just hit you, man. There's a bit in the group, and I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna lie. There was some dampness in my eye, right? Which is I'm just like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? What are you doing? You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's just heartfelt, man. I really liked it, right? And the story, you get this. I feel the story makes sense. The story makes sense all the way through, right? You get it, you understand it, right? It's like a more realistic "What's My Number," you know? Which when was that? Was that like 2017? Something like that, right? It might have been earlier. Time is just a weird thing. Where you look back and you're just like, when was that just the other day? And then you realize that was 10 years ago? What the fuck? But yeah, what's my number? Right? Which was just, it was amusing. It was very unrealistic, you know? But this one feels realer, right? Because I think you have those moments where you look at your life and there's just all of these outside pressures telling you, you should be here, you should be doing this. And you doubt everything, everything that you've done, so you can panic, you can spiral, right? Which is what's happening with Nelly. So you have these fantastic moments, right? Jumping around her bedroom, at her parents' house, right? Going through her wardrobe, trying on all the clothes. Just all of these kind of moments, where you're trying to find the answers, you know? And that's just being able to do that. And this is the thing as well. I can't remember if I mentioned this. This is McKendrick's feature directorial debut. Feature directorial debut. Like she's written a film in 2017, MFA. She was in it, didn't direct. Didn't direct. So this is the first one. She's directed some short films and all of that. But yeah, this was the jump off, and it is polished, right? It feels like it's a seasoned, cat behind the camera, which is fantastic. You know what I mean? It's very it feels very personal, right? Very raw and emotional, but still really funny. Really funny. And the funny where you're just like, oh shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not just goofy funny, but this was, man, I just loved it. I really did. You know? It's it's available. No, it's been in the cinema, right? So it's now out and about. Now, you can in the UK, you can rent it from EE, the EE store, or you can buy it from you know, all other platforms, right? iTunes, Amazon, Google, Sky, what I mean, YouTube, all of them ones, right? Now, I imagine in the States, you've got, I know it's on Prime, it's on Apple, YouTube, all of those. So, yeah, if you missed it in the cinema, this is one that I really, really would recommend you checking out. There's just the cast is great. the cast is so fucking good. You know, they just nailed the roles, right? Everyone's Andrew Santino is a funny fucking comedian. He's a funny comedian, and he can act. Now, there's been films where man, I really like him, but it's just not the greatest film. You know, like Ricky Stenicki. Ah, ah. But he's good though. I like, you know what I mean? He's funny. In this seems like it was just the perfect fucking role for Santino. It really did. Clancy Brown and Laura Cerrone as her parents were incredible. Were incredible. Just you know how your parents can push your fucking buttons, right? They can just, turn a happy moment into the worst. And this was just, perfectly imbued by Clancy Brown. And Laura Cerrone, man, yeah, she was great. She was the perfect foil to Brown. Perfect, you know? And Egu Nodim as Sheila, her best friend. I was great. She was great. You know, so just the music, like, I wouldn't say it's the music I listen to, you know, but it works. The music for the film worked really well. And it didn't just rely on these emotional beds for the scenes. They were there in places, but it fit, it worked. You know what I mean? So with this, it's not just, oh, the script was great or, oh, the acting was good. No, element, every element came together perfectly to give us this story. Just the graphics that appear on screen. You know what I mean? Like when it's the person, the different dates, right? You know, who these are, you know, like right, it's Preston, the prom king, or Sterling, Peter Pan, right? These things would come up in these graphics, and that was fun, right? So you had these fun little elements that would come up. The whole um avocado thing, you know what I mean? Like that analogy was good. Though, right? I will say, though, you do kind of think, yo, kid, learn how to store fucking avocados. You know what I mean? It's just like, yo, you're 34 and you don't know how to do this shit. Come on now, YouTube it. Do something. Do a Google search. Something, please, Nelly. The worst part of this film, right? The worst part of this film was at the end, right? At the end, she turns her baseball cap backwards. That was the only bit in the film where I'm just like, oh, what are you doing? Like, oh, fuck, no, don't do that. I mean, the film had a great ending, and it's not right. I'm just gonna say it had a great ending, because I think a film like this, they can really just be like, oh no, they did that. But no, this film, it does it right. It does it right. And that made me so fucking happy. That made me so fucking happy because up to that point, I'm just like, yo, this is great. And then you're just like, please, please do not fuck this up. Do not fuck up the landing. And yo, they hit the bullseye. They hit the bullseye, people. Boom. So if you like stuff like I'm gonna say, I feel I've been using these fucking films a lot, all right? But I'm gonna say it, right? You are so not invited to my bar mitzvah, right? It's me, God, Margaret, or however the fuck that title is. You know, I'll say things like 40-year-old virgin. This is 40. You know what I mean? Just films like that, right? Clairvoyant, right? Arthur and Michaela's film. You know what I mean? Just one of those films that just nails it. It is just great. If you like those films, you know what I mean? If you like all of those, people, trust me when I say it, you will enjoy Scrambled. You you really will. Ah, people, this I just liked it so fucking much, right? Yeah, I mean, Joyride, another Lionsgate film. Yeah, I mean, it's just so yeah, people. I would love it if you go watch it and let me know how it worked for you. Did it work for you? Like, if it doesn't, fine. You know, not everything is for everyone, but this one, man, this one was great, right? And as I said, like those films like 40-Year-Old Virgin, right? Super bad. You know, Juno, right? 51st Dates. You know what I mean? Those films, I love those films. You know, something that really came to mind when watching this was Away You Go, Away We Go. You know what I mean? Maya Rudolph and John Kranowski, however you say my man's name. You know, my man from the Jim from The Office, right? And other look, I know he's been other Jack Reacher, not Jack Reacher, Jack Ryan, not Jack. Yeah, Jack fucking Ryan, right? I love that film. Right? That film is so fucking good. It's beautiful. Man, I played it to my girl, right? And I was so relieved when she really liked it. Because it's just like, I feel it's just that perfect combination, right? Of funny but heartfelt. You know what I mean? And that's what this film is. Right. So if anything, if you like Away We Go, Scrambled is for you. So check it out. Yeah, you're gonna love it. So yes, it is already out for rent in the UK, but no, it's already out to buy, but you can rent it from the 15th. Okay. So yes, and it's it's everywhere in the States. So yeah, you have no excuses, people. Go get you some Scrambled because you will really not regret it. And keep an eye on what old McKendrick has coming because boy, with what she done with this, man, I really cannot wait to see what she does next. So yeah, there you go, people. Scrambled.